Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? It is a new day, it is a new week, and it's time to get social. My name is KaVonna, and welcome to the Introvert's Social Hour. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Introvert Social Hour. Today is a very fun episode, just kind of very chill vibes. I brought my friend Marvin on to talk about crafting our ideal travel bucket lists. We're going to be talking about our travel experiences so far and what we hope to achieve in the rest of our lifetime. Y'all know Marvin. Marvin was on in season one, so I'm excited to bring him back. So welcome, Marvin. Woo!
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome back. Um, we've traveled a bit different places. Definitely going to pick your brain about your abroad experiences and definitely feel free to do vice versa. The first icebreaker question I did want to ask, what has been the best travel destination that you've been to so far? Like it left a lasting impression on you.
I think it'd have to be Spain just because I was there for so long and it's just, yeah, it'd be
Mhm.
Spain. Yeah.
So why would it be Spain though? Was it just because you were there so long you actually got to really get into being an actual resident there, or what made it so special? Like would you move back there right now if you had the opportunity? Okay, so then
I I would not move back, but I think it's just like you said, the way that they live, I feel like I don't know how to explain it, but it was such a different way than the way that we do things here. And so that stuck with me where it's like I kind of want to have that lifestyle applied here in the States, if that makes sense.
I'm curious. I'm gonna pick your brain a bit. Like what kind of like lifestyle example could you give that was different? Like was it the groceries? Is it, their simplicity? Are they more simple where the US could kind of feel fast paced, or like what's the vibes?
I feel
And
like it's
specifically, what
more
part of Spain were you in? Sorry.
I was in a small city called Denia.
Okay.
It's like very tiny,
Mm.
but I think it's just more how relaxed everything is. Like even if you go to the bigger cities, it's still like yeah, they have like it's fast paced if you go to a bigger city, but even just in general, things are like if something like I feel like if something happens here, we're automatically trying to figure out how to fix it or how to get around it or how to do this, how to do that. Whereas over there, it's like okay, it happened, just go on and do what you can do. Like they know that things are not that they can't control everything. Like they're aware of that and they're okay with that.
Mm.
And so that kind of like calmness, I think, is something that I want here.
Got it. So it's giving me like Akuna Matata vibes, like very like just
Essentially,
chill.
yeah.
Okay. Um, that's hilarious. I would say now to be fair, I studied abroad and that was the first time out of country. So, and I was able to travel to three countries. So I went to England, Paris, not Paris, oh my gosh, France, country, France and Italy. My favorite France is out. I'm sorry. That's automatically out. So then we got London and London up top, and then Rome was cool. I went to Rome, Italy. Rome was cool, but it wasn't like all that in a bag of chips. So I would say I really love Venice, but London's cool too. But when it comes to like access and like London food, England food in general is just not it. Um, so if I were to live
I've seen the
somewhere,
TikToks.
yeah, if I were to live somewhere, I would go back to Venice. It's just really nice to it's just so pretty. Like anywhere you walk is just really pretty. Unfortunately, it's sinking. Um, so like that's a struggle in itself. So I do want to go back one day. Um, but it's just so pretty and they just kind of like if similar situation, it's just very chill vibes. Man, he has his own glass shop. He's just sitting there making glass jewelry, vibing. Hey, welcome
Hmm.
in, you know. People are walking over bridges and everything's water. People going shopping. There's a Muji store over there. I went to my first Muji store in Venice. That's so weird, right?
What is that?
Muji, like Muji pens and like stationery. Oh my
I'm not like a big
gosh.
fan when it comes to stuff like
That's fair.
Muji.
But even as a college student, you never heard of Muji?
I got an
Wow.
iPad my second year.
Oh, my bad. Tech.
I
Okay.
had no like need.
Yeah,
So,
no. I love Muji. I got some stuff from there like 2 weeks ago, and I shouldn't have been inside. But no, that's where I went to my first Muji store out there. Weirdly enough, but no, it was just very chill. Hop on a ferry to cross the waters to go to another neighborhood.
Oh, I
Um,
know what it is.
oh,
Sorry.
see, okay, see, I was like, you have to know what Muji is. Like, there's no
Yeah,
way. But yeah, I would say Venice. Um, I like London, but I think I like Brighton more.
interesting. I've never heard of Brighton.
I know usually people don't, but it's a beach town. Yeah, I wouldn't, it's a city technically, but it's very beach town vibes.
Is it
Um,
gray or actually like sunny?
there were sunny days. Yeah, there were sunny days.
No, the
Yeah.
fact that is that there were sunny days, but it isn't like sunny as a whole.
No, but I mean, in the summer, surprisingly, it rains a lot in England. Like they have those summer storms. But no. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was vibe. And you like they have their mall, you shop, you chill, you eat, you go ahead and get out the beach. The beach is just rocks, but people were still sitting on the rocks. Not really something you want to swim in 100%. Some people still went there. They had their boardwalk there with the fun games and the rides and stuff. It's just very chill. It's like it reminds me of like if you watch like one of those like small town teen shows, like I feel like it would be there. I don't know. I don't watch Riverdale, but maybe like a
Me
Riverdale or like
either.
a yeah, I don't know. Like Pretty Little Lie, like very small town. But obviously Pretty Little Liars is more like not by the beach, but if you put Pretty Little Liars by the beach, I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I would say. It's fun. It's a fun time. I got my ears pierced there too. So
And Brighton.
yeah, in Brighton. I was like, second ear piercing, let's go. I'm a rebel. So I would say that. But um, we're sharing our past experiences. I am curious to know like what are your future destinations? Whether you know enough about them or you just kind of saw them before and you're like, nice vibe. I feel like that's a lot of mine. I feel like you don't really know until you go 100%. Like you do as
Yeah.
much research as possible, but you really have to catch it for yourself. Um, but I would love to know like what are some places that have that special place in your heart that you really want to go to one day, whether they're new on your list or old on your list. In no specific order, we could do our top three. And so I'm gonna say you go first. Give me your first one.
All right. Mexico City. I don't know why, but oh, I do know why. I'm a big fan of like public transport. Like I love that. And so like it was really big in Spain and I've heard that Mexico's is also really good. And so it's just something I wanted to go
Mm.
see. And then they have so many museums and everything. And then it was like an added on bonus. One of my coworkers is actually from there. Like he was born and raised in Mexico City. And he said that the
Mhm.
only reason he stayed here in LA was because it was essentially Mexico City in English. So I was like, oh, so then Mexico City is just LA in Spanish.
Mhm.
So it was like something like that.
Okay. Interesting. I've never heard of their public transportation like being like solid. Like that's when people talk about Mexico City, I've never heard them say transportation. So that's good to know.
I feel like a lot of people aren't into transportation that much, so they wouldn't talk about it. But yeah.
I feel like that's good to know though, because for me, when I think of traveling places, I always think of how easy it is for me to get around. Like
Mhm.
sometimes you can't just drive, especially like I said, you go to England, you gotta learn how to flip to the other side of the
Oh,
road.
that's
That just
right.
doesn't
They're on
work.
the.
Yeah, so it's a no for me. But no, that's good to know. But you're on the same side though, so you're chilling if you wanted to drive. But the good thing is that public transportation
Mm,
is solid. Bus wise or trains? Do they have a train system?
metro system.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
what
good to
that's like my
know.
goal is to go see their metro. I'm supposed to go with one of my friends eventually, and her sister went and she said that she's also a really big fan of like public transport. She's the one who told me like, yeah, the metro there is super like it's always on time, it's on point. I was like, okay, so now I know I want to go.
That's so funny. I just imagine you finally getting to the station, just like with a wide smile on your face, freaking out.
I'm so excited. I'm hoping it connects to the airport because they like that's what we do in Spain. I take it directly off the airport. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's my goal.
I love when that happens too. The London system is like that. They have their specific London metro system, and then the England train system is like beautiful. So like,
I love how everything well connected is over there.
right?
How well
Like
connected everything is over there.
you could just get anywhere, almost anywhere. Once you start getting like to the edges, you're eventually gonna have to hit a car or something, but like not hit a car,
And I have
but
to take
get in the
buses.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. My number, so not in any particular order, but I've wanted to go to Ireland for so long, and I
Have you watched
know
Dairy Girls?
I haven't. No, but I know what that is. I haven't. My my brain goes to like automatically, and that's not, I'm pretty sure it's my first thing like knowledge of Ireland, but like Leap Year. Have you ever watched that with Amy Adams
Matthew
and
Good.
Matthew Good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. And I was just like, look at all that greenery, and you can just stand on a cliff and just look at the water. And I don't know, I just
You
love
would have
that.
been scared?
I wouldn't have gotten that close. Like they got a
Oh.
little too close. I probably would have had like a good like 10 feet worth of space in front of me, and I'd have been okay because I knew I wouldn't accidentally trip and like fall over. Um, but I've just always loved the idea. Like I see myself living on like an Irish farm, just vibing for like at least a year. That's gonna be like my year
Oh.
reset away from society for a second. But then another problem goes, I don't think the food will be good. I'm sorry if there's anyone from Ireland listening. I
They
don't
have
think the food will be good. And
like
I'm
their
not a
Chinese
drinker, so they
food.
have pubs for days.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I wish you the best if you ever do go to Ireland.
See, what were we gonna say about the Chinese food?
They have a bag. It's like Irish spice or something like that. It's like a bag of fries and peppers and whatnot, but it's like a
Mhm.
staple for them, apparently.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right on TikTok. I was
I don't
surprised.
know. I would have to maybe I'm not gonna knock it until I try. You know, and to be fair, I've only been to England. I can't, compare and contrast. Maybe not everything's 100% the same, but I don't know. Based off of what I've seen,
Have you had
um,
the like English Chinese food?
no, that was
Like, did you
never an
see
option
it?
for me. No, I haven't. Oh boy.
I
You could send it to me on my phone.
I'll send it
LOL.
to you.
No, I have not, because I've always been I just can't. I'm sorry. Also, if you're from Britain and you're listening, I just can't. I'm so sorry. Like I can't do the English breakfast. Like, and you have to really be honest with yourself. Like, yes, people say like American food is so like heavy and, not nutritious and things like that. But it's like we just need some flavor. Like that's we just need some flavor. Like like it was very bland. They hype up fish and chips. And I finally had fish and chips to the very popular fish and chips restaurant in Brighton. And if you know where Brighton is, you probably know this fish and chip shop. And I had it and I was like, this is bland. They gave me mushed peas on the side with my French fries, right? It's a no.
Maybe, maybe because you went to like a touristy spot. What if you went to like a more local spot?
Well,
Because
Brighton,
that's what it was like in Spain with paellas.
hmm, maybe because it was like popular. I don't know though, because like you really have to go to Brighton. Like if you want to go to Brighton, you really got to go there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's really super, 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 super touristy. But to be fair, I guess compared to other cities, it could be.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't think so though. I think people are like, if you want good fish and chips, they're like, go here. I was like, okay. I don't know though. I mean, it's true. It's possible. I will say they had a really good gelato spot, but you can't really mess up
Oh,
gelato. So
it's just like ice and milk, right?
and as in some
And
flavors,
like
whatever of your
your
choosing.
flavor, yeah.
Hmm. The fries were fine. I'm not a big steak fries girl though, and they do love a good steak fry out there.
I will eat
But
potatoes in any form.
fair. Maybe I just want them more crispy.
Oh, I'll give you that.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's
This
fair.
is true.
Um, but yeah, one day Ireland, you'll find me like twirling in a land of grass, and
Hopefully
just
you don't
vibing.
fall over the edge.
No, I'll be in the middle, like far, and the ocean will be in the
In the middle.
background. Stop.
You can't even see the ocean if you take the picture from too far back.
Okay, so here's what I want. First, we scrap the ocean for a second. I care about the green grass. I just want like clean green grass, feel the nature, just vibes for a second.
Like the Microsoft background.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. I've just
okay.
like, I don't know. I feel like in the US it's really hard to find like just like solid grass. I
Like
know that sounds super
Utah.
random. Utah,
I feel like
what?
Utah has all of that.
I've never been to Utah, but
Me
go off.
either.
Okay. I was like, I've never been to Utah. Um, but I don't know. I just feel like that'd be really cool. I feel like they appreciate their land a bit more too. So
Oh,
I
that's
just feel
true.
like things would just feel cleaner, you know? As long as I'm not around any cows or anything. I know they're animals, but just like walking around and stuff. But I feel like I'd be on an Irish farm, probably no animals. Catch my
Would you learn
drift.
Gaelic?
I mean, if I'm a quick learner in that sense, I don't know though. I don't know. I tend to what happened. The problem with me is I learn something I don't use enough. I guess if I lived there, I would be able to use it enough to keep it. But I learn stuff and then whoop, it goes away if I don't practice.
Mm, okay.
But maybe. I don't know. What's your second one?
I'm like, are these places we want to go to, but we don't necessarily have planned, right? Yeah, okay. So this one I
Yeah.
would like to go to, but I just don't see myself going there. But I would love to go to Iceland. And in no specific like city part or anything.
Uh,
It's just from what I've seen online, they have so many like pretty things. Like I know they have this river and the sides of it, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but like imagine there's a cliff and then you can see the other half of the cliff and at the bottom there's a river and the sides are like they just look so etched out. It looks like a man made it, but it looks man
mm,
made, but no man made that. Like it's just I don't know.
mm.
It's so pretty and I would want to go, but it's so cold and I'm not meant for the cold. So
That's what
I'm
I was
like
gonna ask. So Iceland's still, but don't they still have sunny days? Like, are they mostly
they
cold?
do they do have sunny days, but they are like much up north. So I don't want to test their sunny days. Or what if their sunny days are like 50 degrees? That's
Not
cold
bad
for me.
though. Well,
I'm sorry, Miss New York weather. I
I'll
know
take a
you're
50 over
struggling.
a 30. I
Yeah,
know.
no, it is 55 right now and I have the heater on. Like I
Oh,
am not gonna be doing that.
to be fair though, when I do go home in California, it's 50 and I'm like shivering in my boots. But when I'm out here, I think it's just like I'm
Right?
ready. I'm ready. I don't know. I guess I'm ready for the cold, but when I'm out in California, I'm like, it's 50. Like, what is this?
Like California could feel like it's uncomparable because when I was in Madrid, it was 50 and people were like wearing those like puffer jackets and I
Mhm.
was fine. And I was like, it gets much colder back home. Like I don't know where we stand with weather, but that's just what threw me
Mhm.
off. Because I know yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So then you, so are you saying you would try Iceland, even if that means you need to bring a few puffer coats?
I would like to. I know that it doesn't
Mhm.
really take that long to travel the whole country, like do a whole circle, and they say that everything is kind of really accessible within. So it's like not bad. Because there's a
Okay.
whole freeway that goes around the country. So it's like
Because it's that small.
yeah.
That makes sense. Iceland has never been on my list. I guess just because like, but the thing is though, I see it pop up here and there. Like people
Hmm.
are starting to like catch that it's like cooler than what people have ever said about it. I feel like it gets branched with Iceland, and Antarctica. It's just like they don't really
Yeah.
talk, you know.
Because then you can
That's
also
fair.
see the lights, I think. I'm not sure.
Ooh, that's on my bucket list in general. I don't know where I need to be to see them, because you can see them from a few different locations, but I
You
want
go
to see
to
the Northern
Alaska.
Lights. That's true too. I almost went one time. Rip. Yeah, the HA trip, my second year, but then COVID happened.
It was gonna be to Alaska.
Yeah, we were gonna go to Fairbanks University.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. University of Alaska Fairbanks. That's what it was. And then COVID happened. They were like, cancel the trips. Badly so, because that's when everything went downhill from there. So, whoop. One day I'll go to Alaska. One day. I don't know what I'm gonna go for at that
The
point, but
lights.
I mean, yeah, but then what else do you do after that, you know?
You're
I'd
on
have to
your
figure
own
that
there,
out.
buddy.
See, I'm like, I don't know what you do in Alaska. I would have to figure that out. But yeah, no, I have the proper attire. I had bought my jacket and my boots and everything. Haven't worn the boots to this day. So you never know. My second one that's been on my list for a very long time, is so once again, no specific, I don't have specific cities in mind because I feel like there's gonna be a point where I will do the full research, but I think I haven't done it yet because I don't want to like get my hopes up when I know right now at
Mm.
this moment, the bank account can't afford it, can't even afford to go across the
That's when you get a
country
credit
sometimes.
card.
No, because then I'm gonna be in debt. That's how they get us.
If you don't look at it, then it technically doesn't exist.
No, you know, absolutely not, because it'll come back up. They'll come and collect for sure. That is not the kind of girl math I need to be doing. Definitely not. Mm-mm. Um, but I want to go to Greece. And once again,
Oh,
no specific place in Greece. There's been cities that have popped in my mind here and there. But I do want to go to like obviously the most basic like Athens at some point. But there
Athens.
was another one that um starts with a T. Oh my gosh, can't remember. But basically, I had done a broad. What do you count as a broad program? I did a summer preparatory program. Through one of my like student support programs I did, and they sent me to a place in Massachusetts, and that place in Massachusetts had a whole bunch of like students from Greece come and do that program as well. So I met a lot of people from Greece when I was there, which was one really cool because they were like teaching me words and stuff. And I was like, okay, bet I got this. And then I also too, they were like letting me know more about Greece, and it had always looked pretty to me. And then they were telling me more, and they were like, no, you would love it. And I was like, I think I would too. Like Greece has just always looked so appealing. I just want to walk through the
Mm.
buildings, and everything just looks so crisp and clean, like they care about the place they live in. And once again, I love a good water moment. So like being able to like, wear a
You
cute
talk so
outfit.
much about water, and you left California for New York.
There's water in New York. There's a beach. There's
Next
multiple.
to the skyline with all the buildings and all like the
No,
dirt.
no, 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 no. I
You
take
left
a
La
ferry.
Jolla.
I take a ferry
Is it as
to
nice as La Jolla?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. I take a ferry. It's an hour to go to Rockaway, which is still in New York, by the way. It gets away
No,
from the
I
skyline, and
the
I
city,
chill at
the
the
state
beach.
is really pretty. I love the state. I've been throughout the state of New York, but like you left La Jolla. I think
La
I just
Jolla didn't have what I needed. I
I'm so
love La
sorry.
Jolla, but was it
Exactly.
gonna give me a dance career? No. I was about to be,
Um, it's very true.
exactly. Exactly. No, I
You
love
could
La
have moved
Jolla.
here.
LA,
You could have had a dance career here, and you have
let's
so
not
many
bring up the
beaches.
beaches in LA. Don't
It
be in
depends on when you
LA and
go.
don't be in
Depends on when
LA
you
and
go.
and try to
In
bring up
LA.
the beaches.
You mean in Angelino?
I had to, yep, that's what I meant. There we go. Nuh-uh, don't bring that
Yeah.
up. Don't bring up the beaches, and the beaches aren't that good.
Some
Mm-mm.
are okay. Some are okay.
Exactly.
We'll
Um,
leave it at that.
sorry if you're from LA, but we all know the beaches aren't that great.
If you go to
Now
Dock by
that's
Santa Monica, yeah. Okay, sorry, continue.
well, here's the thing. I haven't been able to explore all of LA.
Hmm.
you know, which is, weird. They're like, you're from California? What? I'm a Northern California girl. I'm a Bay Area girl. And then I went to school in San Diego. I kind of skipped LA. So,
You flew right over.
I flew right over it. Um, there's a point where I thought I was going to be in LA, but it just never happened. I went to New York instead. Skipped, skipped again. Now I went across the country. Um, so I think where were we even at, Marvin? Oh my goodness. I think we were talking about
Greece.
Greece. Okay.
Greece.
Okay. Um, but yes, that would be my vote. And once again, pretty waters and things. clean waters and things. Okay. All
There we
right.
go. I'll give you
That's
that.
okay. But that's my second one. Um, what is your third choice?
I would do Turkey. Um, it's
Dang.
always been like interesting to me. I think it started just started because my parents started watching Turkish like novellas a lot because they cater towards the Hispanic community a lot. Like
Oh,
they have a production company meant just for like Latin America. It's crazy or
I
wild or
didn't know
whatever.
that.
Yeah, and so it's like it looks interesting, like Istanbul, and I think it's
Mhm.
Anatolia. But then I also want to go on, what are they called? The balloons, the big ones.
The balloon?
The
Hot air balloons?
hot air balloon. I want to go on
Oh
a hot
my
air
God.
balloon because I,
Okay.
I've blinked on the name, but I know that they have like hot air balloon rides and they take you like above their valley and it's so pretty because they take you at sunrise. But the thing is, like, you have to get to Istanbul and then from there you have to take a 2 hour flight and then from there you have to get on like another bus that'll take you there. It's
Oh.
an extreme process, but it looks like it's worth it. So that's like my goal one day to have enough money to be able to just waste it on a day like that.
So in one day, that's how you get there, and then you have to U-turn back in that same day.
You- I mean, you can
That's how
stay
deep
there
in.
and like do
Oh,
different
okay.
things, but it's just that area is like mostly known for its hot air balloons and like I don't
I
really
see.
see what else I would be doing.
Okay, that's fair. Interesting. No, I literally didn't think Turkey would be anywhere on that list. That's
What
good to
did you
know.
think?
I mean, I just didn't think Turkey. Like, I didn't have any theories necessarily, but like Turkey was not anywhere in the forefront of my mind. Because I feel like when people say travel places, Turkey's not really on their list.
Yeah, it wasn't on me until my parents like started watching those shows, and then when I was in Spain, I had a friend that went to Turkey, but she went right after the earthquake, so I didn't see why that I didn't
Oh.
think that was like a good move, but
Hmm.
she had a great time, so it was like, might as well, might as well.
Interesting. Okay. I I have a hard time putting if I did like top three. Um, but I've no reason, quite honestly, like at all, other than I've heard people say it's like very calm and chill. Once again, is Amsterdam.
You don't want to leave Europe. Did
Apparently not. I mean, Jamaica was next, but I think Amsterdam's been on my list for a while too.
you want
Um,
to go do the drugs there?
no,
I've heard so many
sir.
stories. I've heard
Oh my
so many
gosh.
stories.
No, I just wanted to like people say it's chill vibes. I also have to consider the fact that once again, I don't know a lot of these things. I have to consider are they going to be okay with me being there as a black person? So like when
Mm.
I hear sometimes people are like, "Oh no, Amsterdam very chill." They're like, "Yeah, they don't mind us there." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like another spot to go to." So I don't know. I put Amsterdam on my list because of that. Now, so apparently it's a party-ish place. Is that the vibe? I'm not a
They
party
have
girl.
like acid cafes.
Oh
Like
my.
and mushrooms and like and weed and like they have a lot of stuff. That's why some of my friends loved it there because it's pretty much you go into a cafe, you get what you need and you can stay there and then
Mhm.
or you can just leave, but you're not going to be like arrested as long as you're not doing anything like stopping traffic or
Interesting.
whatnot. Yeah, it's very big. And then they also have like the red light like street, like I don't know if you know what that is.
Tell me. See, I told you I don't know nothing.
It's not okay. Every city has like its bad parts, obviously, but
Hmm.
it's not human trafficking, but like it is prostitution. And so you
Mm.
walk down the street and the women are like not like dolls, but they're put in like the front of like the place with like glass and
Mhm.
everything, and it's just there's a red light behind them. And so as you walk down like the street, you just see all of them.
Um, random insert. That used to be what ti apparently what Times Square was. I saw a documentary about this, and I can't remember the
I was not
documentary.
aware of this.
Yeah, so before Times Square became what it was, I think it was like 60s, 70s. Also, weirdly enough, when like they were really into their big drug era, specifically in the United States, um, it was like really intense on like the sex scene, quite honestly. And so there'd be a lot of clubs on Times Square, and then a lot of like displays, kind of like similar to seeing what you're saying. I don't remember the documentary. Um, oh my gosh, when I find it, I'll have to let you know because it was like history or something, or like the development of
Of
New
like the
York or
city,
something
yeah.
like that, or the other city. Oh my gosh, they're so random. But yeah, that just popped up. Like I remember when I found out about that, I was like, that's bananas, because I would have never guessed that. Like now you just have a whole bunch of shopping areas and tourism and
But who
food,
knows what happened in those parts?
right? Like I'm not, I was sitting there watching it like, oh my gosh, did that used to be McDonald's or what McDonald's is now? I was just like, that's bananas. But no, a lot of stuff was going down in Times Square. And then eventually they shut it down because it was like y'all are getting out of hand. It was a lot of like illegal stuff too. So a lot of people getting harmed in those case scenarios as well. Things like that. It became dangerous, too dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they shut it down and they decided to rebrand. Very
And they
interesting.
and rebrand they did because
Rebrand they did. Because I don't think nobody, unless they watch that
I don't know.
documentary or know the history, yeah. I
I
didn't,
mean,
I would have never guessed it.
I knew that they had stuff because when I went to New York, how old was I? I was like 15 and I got offered, I didn't get offered, but like the guy gave me a strip club card. I was very thrown off. So it was like, I don't look like when I was 15, I looked like I was 15. So it was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this, but I didn't know it
Yeah.
was that deep, like
No, it was
in,
like the whole, like whole street. Like it was a thing. Like it was a thing. Yeah. It was pretty wild when I was learning about it because I think it was like a crime show and they were talking about that connection with all of the things
I
that went
mean,
down.
on the bright side, Amsterdam it doesn't have it like I mean, I guess it's because it's not illegal for them. Like that's what somebody said. It's like if something isn't illegal for them, they're not going to go as crazy as people. Like maybe in New York they would go crazy because they were like doing something bad, and so they were like ah. But if it's
Mhm.
something that's like okay, and you know you're not going to get in trouble for it, then you're going to be much calmer about what you're doing, and you're not going to act out as much. So
That's true.
maybe because
Maybe.
that's why I
I
was
don't
like
know.
I haven't heard much about Amsterdam being. Obviously, you have to be careful, but
Mhm.
I haven't heard of it being as dangerous as like other places.
Yeah, me neither. No. But once again, we still need to do more research about it. But that's why I put it. People just tend to say like it's a pretty chill, safe-ish kind of area. Now you got me wondering, but when people have said it, people usually
Why do you think
say it's
it's so
safe.
chill? Okay, why not?
Because nobody's there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, um, but I don't know. Those are mine. Um, some special mentions I would add. Like I said earlier, Jamaica. I would love to go to Jamaica. They do have a travel advisory out right now. Apparently, they've been like cutting people's heads off. So not right now. But the
Not the
thing is,
guillotine.
though, oh my God, not the guillotine. But the thing is, people are still traveling there. So I think it's like, it's a be aware of this happening. I don't know if it's internal beef, but I haven't looked too
Like
deep because once
political.
again, yeah, I was like, I'm not going to Jamaica anytime soon, so I didn't look too deep in that, but I did know there's a travel advisory and one TikTok popped up like travel advisory, but the whole plane's full. We're still gonna be there. I was like, well, it is what it is. But
You
I
gotta have
also have
fun.
Montreal, Canada on my list. Um, I feel like that's the cheap, maybe possibly. I don't know at this point. Everything's expensive.
Isn't
Maybe a
it cheaper
cheap.
from New York
Yeah,
with the
but the
flight?
thing is, I've looked and it's at that point I might as well go across the pond. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not as cheap as I
The
think.
ocean.
Yeah. Like at that point it's not that cheap. I thought it'd be way cheaper than what it has been. Um,
Mm.
like when I say it's basically like $100 difference, like at that point I'm gonna go to
Oh,
London.
yeah, might as well.
And then I could
Yeah,
hop a few other countries while I'm over there because it's cheaper to fly in there. And yeah. So I don't know. But Montreal, Canada, people say it's very like because a lot of people from France or like they have that French connection. It's very European vibes. Um and I haven't been to Canada, so I was just like that would be a cool place to go to at some point just to like, catch the vibes. Um and then nowhere specific, but I do want to eventually visit the French countryside. Don't ask me specific cities, just the French
I don't
countries.
know specifics. So even if I did, I'd be.
Hmm.
I mean, it sounds pretty from what I've heard. I wanted to take the train from Paris to Barcelona or like vice versa because it goes through the French
Mm.
countryside, and I've
Uh,
heard it's super pretty. But it's like 200 euros, which is too expensive. I would much rather take the flight
oh.
for like 30. Yeah,
Right. Why is the train more expensive? What the heck?
because it's so pretty. That's not that's like.
They're charging for the experience. Interesting, interesting. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love a good train ride. I really do. I haven't been on a train in like almost 2 years, but I really do love a good train ride with a nice scenery. Eventually, I would want to do, I feel like I've seen so much of California at this point, even like driving up and down it. Not that I've driven up and down it, but my mom driving up and down it, being a passenger. Um, like I feel like the train would give me the same views I've already seen of California. So I think if I did take a train ride, I would want to see something else. Like I would definitely want to research like perfect train routes to really catch the nature of the US, but then also like I think that'd be really freaking cool to take a French countryside like train ride too. That'd be pretty. I just like being nosy. I took a train ride from
No.
New York to Connecticut and I was just like, oh cool. Passing small towns. They're waving at the trains. Like legit. There are some kids by the train tracks and they shouldn't be by the train tracks, by the way. This is how
But they're
accidents
used to
happen.
it because they like grew up next
But
to
this
it,
is
didn't
how
they?
accidents happen.
That is
Yes, but this
very
is how
true.
accidents happen. And they're just standing by the train tracks waving as a train goes by. Okay, hi kids, where are your family?
That
Right, where's your parents? Like somebody get your child. But no, I would love that. I really do. I'm a simple gal. I love a good train ride. I don't experience them enough, but the vibes are immaculate. For
Do you
sure,
think
for
it's
sure.
easier there in New York? Because I definitely can't do that here.
Well, here's the thing. When I say train ride, I'm not talking about metro.
I
So
mean, we have the
like
metro too, but
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do I think a BART ride in Northern California would give me the best experience? No. Do I think um a subway ride in New York City is going to give me the best experience? No. When I'm talking about train ride, I'm talking about stress-free. I'm talking about I'm just chilling. Seats are clean. The cart smells good,
I feel like
you
that's
know.
in first class.
Well, no, I took an Amtrak train ride from New York to Connecticut and it was like 35, $40 and it was chill. Like it was
Oh,
chill, calm, collected, no problems. I had my headphones on, the seat was comfy. I was vibing. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
talking about.
every time I've never taken a train here in the States, and the first time I took a train, it was in Spain on my way to Madrid. It was one of those high speed ones, and a lady assumed I couldn't speak English, so that was fun.
Oh, talking
So
mess.
it's just like, huh?
Was she talking mess?
Yeah, she was talking about because I bought like the €5 seats and they were comfortable and everything. It's just
Mhm.
I since the train was leaving in 2 minutes, I didn't assume she was gonna show up because our seats were facing each other. So I just slid down. And then she just started talking about what did she say? She was saying something about my legs being too long and that I wasn't like aware of the fact that other people had to sit there. And I was like, there's a sign from God because my AirPod fell out of my ear just as she started talking about me. And then I looked up at her and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just didn't think you were coming, but I can sit back. And she was
Mhm.
Irish and she got mad at me. And I was like, what was I supposed to do in that scenario? I just offered to sit back. And then she like complained about the architect and she said it was the architect's fault for not making the seats big enough or wide enough and this and that. And then
Okay.
there's a whole thing. Other than that, though, I do love train rides.
Okay. I will say, the England trains are pretty solid. I like those as well. Those were a fun time. That's I think that ignited my love for train rides in general, because before that I hadn't really
Mhm.
been on a train like that. But when I spent that summer in England, I was going to the train. Like to go to London, I was on a train for at least 2 hours. Um, to go anywhere else, I had to hop on a train as well. So it's just fun. I just liked it. And I think once again, like London for the most part, like once again, it's been a while since I've been there. So if you're from, London or just in general England transportation system, if it's different, I don't know. It's been about 5 years at this point, but it was clean. I know. Don't calculate my age like that. I saw it in your eyes.
No, it's just I'm trying to remember when you went. That was not 5 years
2019.
ago.
Yeah, 2019. Almost
Dude, what the
exactly 5 years
hell?
in the summer.
So we're
See,
not
time
gonna
be
talk about that.
flying. Vroom vroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was clean, seats were comfy. You could choose to sit in a like kind of like similar situation which you were breaking down. You could choose to sit in a group and they had the table in the middle, which was
Hmm.
cool. And then you could choose to just like sit by yourself. Either way worked. Everything's super accessible. I love it. So, but yeah, I want a peaceful train ride, like vibes. Eventually in a lifetime where I have more money, I would love to do like a bougie train ride where you get like a room.
Oh, I saw it on Modern Family.
Modern Family was where you got that. I can't even make it. I can't even say anything because I got mine from TikTok. So I guess none is better than the other.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we supposed to know about it from like firsthand experience or something?
I was just thinking TikTok. Who went on a train ride, a fancy train ride in Modern Family?
They all did. It's a whole
Oh,
episode.
sorry. I have not watched Modern Family. I feel like you're judging me.
No, no, no,
And
because I didn't watch Modern Family until like third year of college. So
okay.
you're
I
fine.
mean, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it as of late, so I've been thinking about it.
It's
We shall
good.
see.
I like
We
it.
shall see. Um, but yeah, those things be costing a lot of money. Um, I don't know, but I would love to get like an actual like room, bed, bathroom, shower in the bathroom, things like that's money to get that. Um,
Doesn't
but
it include like food and everything too? And you have
it
to go get
does,
like
yeah.
dinner.
You could walk to the dinner cart
Yeah.
and or dinner car, not cart, the dinner car. It'd give me very much Polar Express, but it stays on the train tracks, sunny, not cold, things like that. But that's the goal of mine.
Train.
Train ride. Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, what other travel related goals you have? Whether it's it doesn't have to necessarily be place specific, but you talked about like hot air balloon. Um, I'm curious, are there any other like adventure activities, maybe culinary experiences, anything like that you've thought about doing? I think this one's not a travel one specifically for me, about throwing out to give you time to think. I want to skydive. I could do that out here. I don't necessarily have to go anywhere for that. I feel like I should, yeah, stay here to do
It's all you. I'll be praying for you once you jump out that plane. Like
that.
I
Yeah.
could not. I don't think I have like goals or like things like that. Oh, that makes me sound so depressing. No, it's like I just like that is
You're
just
good.
never. I think the hot air balloon thing just called out to me because like, you know how they would do it in San Diego, like they would use hot air
The
balloons like
hang
up
gliding.
north.
Oh, did I ever see anybody hot air balloon? I saw probably people hang glide a lot. I didn't see
That's a
hot
lot, and
air
I'm
balloons.
scared of that. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
further up north by like
Mm,
I forgot the cities, but like up there, you could go on a hot air balloon because my cousin did it, and that's when I kind of like got an interest in it. But
mm,
there are a lot of places in Latin America where I want to go, and not just for like hot air ballooning or like
mm,
paragliding or whatever. It's just like culinary wise, I want to go to Peru, like Lima, Peru. Their capital is like top of the top. I want to go there so badly, but it's
mm,
dangerous. And then like Colombia, I want to go to
mm.
like their capital, Medellin. I think it's Medellin. I don't know. Like there's so many places within Latin America that I would go to. It's just
Yeah.
I just don't want to get robbed or like beat up or like assaulted.
Yeah. I think
But
that's
like
why a lot
those
of them aren't
places.
on my list as well. I
No,
want to
because
be safe.
literally where my parents are from, we have three volcanoes that you can hike. And I thought I would do because they're like that's where like my parents are
Are
from. But
they
I
active
would not feel
or are
safe
they
going there.
inactive? The
Both. Depends on
volcanoes?
the time. It
Huh,
like depends.
I thought so okay, don't come for me if I'm wrong about this.
Did you think it was the end of
I
the world
thought
whenever?
yeah, no, but like then they say a volcano is active. That doesn't mean it erupts. That just means that it has the potential to erupt. And then some volcanoes are not active at all.
Mhm.
So it's just a mixture, like some are active, some aren't.
There's this one. It's on a lake, and it's like sometimes it's active, and so like people get evacuated because you have ash falling, and then there's like lava coming down, but it doesn't like erupt like Pompeii kind of
Mm.
style. It's just
So
like things come out of it.
by definition, I think it is an active volcano. Got it.
Hmm.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
But then there's like the other one. I think it does nothing. I'm not that well versed on the volcanoes. It's just something I would like do if I ever went back.
See, no, I would have to say no because I've seen those videos where like the people are like standing right in front of it as a volcano starts erupting, and I'm just like,
No, no, no. They
why?
don't let you up there if that's happening. They have raves there. I like, but
Raves?
granted, it's mostly like white people, and I because I was like,
Okay.
I would not be doing that, but
Hmm.
it looked fun and it was a little pricey, and I was like, this is
But see, that's the thing. You have no control over when a volcano starts to erupt or like, get, start to do
yeah.
what it does. So say you're having a rave, and then you hear the little
But there's
rumble
like seismograms or something. Like I'm pretty sure it's like detect it like a day or two before.
a day or two. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't know it happened that early, but that's good if that's the case.
I
I
think
mean,
I
I
don't
believe
know.
you for activation purposes.
I honestly don't
Hopefully.
know.
Yeah.
Is I know that they had the rave there because it came up on my TikTok, and I was like, that's interesting.
Mm. I don't know. I've always been scared of volcanoes because the first thing I remember learning about when I was younger for history purposes was Pompeii. And from there on, I was like, you're not about
I
to see
thought
me
you were
messing
gonna
with a
talk
volcano.
about the Yosemite one.
No, I'm talking the early ages. They had those pictures, those fossils, or I think they're considered
Oh,
fossils of those frozen
the
people.
where
Well, not
they're like
frozen, the people stuck
they're in
together.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said I'm good. I'm gonna stay away from all volcanoes. Trust and believe. Um, yeah, no, Pompeii scared me. Mm-mm. Um, are there any random places in your on your adventure list that just like are super out of the box?
I think I don't know if this is considered like random, but Australia,
No, that's
like
not really random. Why would it be random to
why?
you though? They
Because it's
are
English speaking. I feel like the
LOL.
like like who would it's just like I haven't been I think the only other country I've been to that speaks English is Canada. And then I'm like outside of that. I would like I don't know, Australia's just it's the
Okay.
only country I would visit. I feel like that shares the Pacific with us because Japan doesn't really call out to me. The majority of Asia doesn't really call out to me.
Hmm.
So it's like Australia, and then but I'm so scared because of the reptiles. I
I was
that's
about to
like
say.
that's my biggest fear. Like I've seen
Hmm.
somebody said that they have like pet spiders that they keep by their toilets because they kill all the other spiders, and I was like, nope, I
Mm-mm.
don't want to touch that.
My greatest fear. And I saw somebody post this on Twitter. And sorry, it's TMI, like sitting on the toilet and a snake coming up.
No, I have that too. I don't know where it came from, but I have that like fear that someday that's gonna come out of the pipes here, and I feel like that's a higher possibility because that actually does happen
100%.
over there.
Yeah, I've seen it happen in Australia.
No, I know. I read the article, the lady, and I was like, nope.
No,
Uh-uh.
I
I
think
would
that's
be staying in a
solidified that I'm not
five-star
going.
hotel. No, I'd stay in like a
It's not gonna
five-star
do anything for
hotel.
you.
Yes, it will.
If they want
I'm
to go
pretty
into
sure
the
they take,
pipes, they're gonna go
but
into the
I'm pretty sure
pipes.
like the city takes care of their high-paying like tourists. Yeah,
The city has no control over where those snakes go.
but they do their best
They
to give like
run
a really
that
good
country.
presentation.
The animals and insects run that country. Kangaroos punching people in the throats. You got spiders crawling wherever they want, the size of a hand. You got
But look at Sydney.
what about Sydney?
Sydney is like you don't really hear about those things in Sydney. I've heard the majority
Yeah,
of those things happen
Ron.
like in the outskirts of the city, like
I don't believe it because you
Melbourne,
still got big
Brisbane.
spiders.
Yeah, but those are like if you go towards the like I was watching this Australian show about this dude and no insects came out whatsoever at all. The closest thing he had to an animal was a chicken he adopted. So I was like, maybe,
Seems like a setup.
perhaps.
They were trying to get people to come.
Yeah, I don't think
Hmm.
so. I
No.
perhaps I don't know, but Australia is my
Um,
random. You see, that's why it's random.
because of the intense animal situation.
Yeah.
Oh, I think. So random, random. I think if I had to do random, it would have to be in the US somewhere. Like, cause be like, why would you do US? I think, but New Orleans isn't random. Like it's, I've always wanted to go.
Eureka.
I want to go to, no, I want to go to, it's not random technically either, but I do want to eventually visit like, Portland. And I want to check out, is that not random? Or is this
I
still
don't think
random?
that's random. It's just
Is it random because I want to go because Once Upon a Time was filmed there? Like somewhere around Portland. There's a city,
that's where it
or
was filmed?
I don't think it's necessarily exactly Portland, but there's a city around there that they base it off of.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, like the town, you could go to the town.
At
That
Storybrooke?
Yeah, storybook, thank you. Yeah. So I would want to go just to like no other reason. That's pretty much it. Um, and then also like, I don't know, maybe I would go visit Forks. Not that they
Would
really
you go to
have.
Seattle?
I've been to Seattle, so I've already done it. So
I just started watching Station 19 and I fell in love with that show. So I was like, now I want to go to Seattle.
I'm not gonna ruin it for you.
No,
I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
say
I
for
have.
me, it was underwhelming. But that was because I had hyped Seattle up for so long in my head. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. I wanted to go to Seattle.
Oh,
I applied to UW. I was a Seattle girl. And then
I
when
feel
I
like that's gonna
finally
be me
went,
with Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah.
All right, Tina, Trina, let's
Right.
go. Done.
Anytime somebody says that, that's my first instinct. Chicago. Yeah. I I do want to go to Chicago. I don't think that's random though. But I do want to go to Chicago.
Yeah, that's something I want to go to Chicago. It's like the birthplace of house music. I almost applied to
Mm.
Northwestern. I was a candidate for the scholarship, the Posse's scholarship. I don't know if you heard of it.
I know. Mm-mm.
It was like they pay for tuition, I think, and then you just pay for housing. And I was like, housing is expensive, but I could at least like manage that. And
Mhm.
they gave you they like you could only go to select schools within the country, and Northwestern was one of those, and that was like my top thing, solely because it was in Chicago, and I've been wanting to go to Chicago. And when I was in Spain, this lady was like, "Oh, the lady who gave me my phone contract." She was telling me how
Mhm.
she went to Chicago and she was surprised that I had never been. And I was like, "Girl, I don't think you understand how big the country is. Like, I'm not just gonna get on a 4 hour flight. Like, I mean, I did take an 11 hour flight, but still,
Yeah, it's also just not as cheap though, too. Like,
yeah." I was like flying like within to Paris was like 60 euros, but flying within here, California to San Jose is $100 in itself. Like,
hmm yeah.
and it's a shorter flight, so it was like, I
hmm
don't know.
It doesn't make sense at all. Um, I did want to know, like, what's your travel style? Like, it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you're like very adventure based. Like, want to check out the museums. I want to check out these places, walk around. That's the vibe I catch because I know some people, there's like a phrasing where it's like some people are travelers and some people are
Vacationers.
vacationers. And I definitely think I'm a traveler, but I also want to enjoy these vacationer spots as well. Um,
Yeah.
but would you agree? Are you more of a traveler or are you kind of a blend sometimes too?
I I personally think I'm a traveler because I
Mhm.
love walking around and seeing things. Like I think, oh my God, when I was in Barcelona, I hit 30,000 steps in a day because I was just like walking around the city and seeing everything, and I really liked it. And then like in Alicante too, I hiked up a
Mhm.
castle and I wasn't aware that it was a hike, so I was doing it in my Nike shoes, like my Nike. They're like skateboarding shoes or something. So my feet were on fire, but best believe I got photos of that castle.
There you
Um,
go.
so I was like, I think I'm a traveler, but I think it also depends on where I'm at. Like you said, like vacationer spots. Like if I were to go somewhere, like it's not my goal to go to like Cancun or like I don't know places like that. But if I were to
Mhm.
go to places like that, then I think I'd be a vacation type. But if not, like most definitely a traveler. Like I love seeing things and going around. Like I got into free museums in Spain. That was like
Nice.
I love that. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I say same. I love a good museum. I was talking, talking to myself, but I was thinking like I haven't really been to museums in a minute. Um, and I was just like, dang, I didn't go to any museums last year. That's unlike me. I live in New York. Um,
Are they
so
free?
um so for residents, yes. So I just need to like show a proof of my residency. Or depending, sometimes you just got to pay a smaller fee, but usually it's either cheaper or free. The Met is
Hmm.
free for residents. So they say pay what you can. So you can give a little bit more,
I'm gonna
but
drop a
it's
penny in there. What do you mean?
free for me. It's free for me. Yeah, they could take those donations when they have the Met Gala. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
they'll be okay. Um, but yeah, I definitely think I'm an adventurer. I love exploring things. Like I love a good bookstore. I love a good coffee shop or like a different kind of shop. Like I said, I love ice cream and gelatos and things. I'm a good food explorer as well. Um, so yeah, I definitely go to those first. But I do want to, like I said, I do want to experience that vacation-y feel. I feel like everywhere I've went has been travel-y, and I would
Mhm.
love to just kind of like, wake up, walks out to the beach, chills and reads a book for 2, 3 hours, kind of vibe. That's the goal.
This is yeah, that's very much what I'm like. Except for the eating thing. I feel so weird eating by myself. Like that is the one thing I like struggle with is finding food when I'm going somewhere because I refuse to go to like a sit down restaurant
Mm-hmm.
and sit by myself. So I'll get like street food or something and that's what I'll eat. Yeah.
It
I
is
don't
awkward, but you just gotta go for it. I did that when I had my fish and chips. I was by myself. Fish and chips and my peas on the side. I didn't eat the peas. I don't like peas. But yeah, that.
and then
I mainly do stuff by myself. The thing though is I haven't sat at an actual restaurant by myself in a minute. Usually I DoorDash. I don't really be out and about like that. Like I'd be tired. I just wanna go home, wanna go to my bed or my couch. Um, but I say go for it. The last week, there was a lady, I was eating ramen with a friend. A lady sat at the ramen spot. She was eating ramen by herself. She probably just wanted ramen after work. Go ahead, girl, get your ramen then. And it probably
I
tastes
will
better
buy
at the
it
spot.
and bring it home and eat it by myself.
No, but then that's extra work. I get it. And sometimes treat
I'm eating in
yourself.
the comfort of my
Eat out.
home.
Sometimes eat out. You don't gotta put it together because when you get ramen to go, they separate it. You gotta mix it. You gotta let it sit. It's not as fresh anymore. Yeah, so I respected it. No, I'll sit at
I
like
can't.
coffee shops and stuff by myself. I just haven't necessarily needed to go to a restaurant. But I would sit by myself if I really like wanted to go to a restaurant or something. But no need
I
necessarily.
can't. Like I work from home right now, and it's like I stay at home. I will not be going to a coffee shop. I think the only time I went out to like sit by myself,
Mhm.
the power went out, so I had to go to the library, and that was like fine because it's a
Mhm.
library. But I was like, I
Yeah.
would not be going to like a restaurant by myself. I did it once in Barcelona, and I don't know, maybe I'm just too self-aware, and
Mm.
I was just there, and I felt like everybody was looking at me while I was getting. And the worst part is the burger. I don't know how to eat those things where it's like a bread, the toppings, a bread, more toppings, and then a bread. Like, how do I
Oh,
split that? Because I
you
don't know how to
don't. You're not
split
supposed to
that.
split it. It
But
comes
what
all
is the point
together.
of the bread in the
Exactly.
middle? I can't eat the whole
Extra
thing.
filling. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I was
oh.
definitely on edge and on that restaurant in that restaurant because I did not
You
know
were
how to eat
definitely
what I had
probably
ordered.
overthinking. You're
I
definitely
was
probably overthinking though, because there's probably like nobody, probably someone saw and was like, oh, shout out to him. He's eating by himself or something like that. And then you're here like, oh my gosh, they're staring at me. They're watching me
yeah.
eat this burger. The middle
I
part is
was
falling off
dying.
the back.
It did. I had so much like avocado on my hands. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah,
It
that's
was not
hilarious.
like a great experience. I will eat in my
Hmm.
car if I need to. Like,
Yeah, that's funny. I get it though, especially like then you feel very like self-conscious of how you eat. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah,
Oh, oh. Random question. Do you have any travel hacks? Travel tips?
I think it depends on where you're going. Like,
Mm.
because if you're gonna go to Latin America, definitely like don't have your phone, like don't have a watch, like most you can have on your arms is like a bracelet, everything clutched to your side. But like if
Mm,
you go to like Europe, it's more like to me, Europe was much calmer and it was safer and it was like
mm.
I don't
I would
know.
say still keep your things close by. Now I don't know. I've
Oh,
never been to anywhere.
that's one of the pros I felt like of being brown in a way because
Mm,
when I was there, I felt like people just never really approached me or were like scared of doing things like near me because I don't know if they
mm,
like. I'm obviously American and I live a very comfortable life here, but I was
mm,
like, they don't know that. Just by looking at me, they do not
yeah.
assume. So it
Mm-hmm.
was like that was much nicer because I did meet somebody who like did not. She was American and white, and so they tried to rob her, and she had to like
Oh.
grab her stuff. And so it was like, I guess, yeah, still being safe, but I don't know if that's what you meant by travel hacks or like save money by doing this kind of travel hack.
Yeah, anything, no, anything. But yeah, I would say that counts though. Because even in Europe, no one tried to rob me. I'm very lucky. I kept my stuff in front. I had my crossbody bag. It was in
I
front of
did have
me.
everything on me. Yeah,
Like I knew better. But with one of the people I was traveling with, also similar situation, he had baggy pants, baggy pockets. And so they always say
interesting.
tight pockets, or if you don't have tight pockets, don't put anything in your pockets. Homeboy next to him came up next to him, tried to slide his hand in his pocket. He caught it and was like, "Hey, he just tried to rob me." And at least, he caught it. But no, tight pockets, tight wallets, all of that stuff. So I think I was good because I was smart.
I
Um,
would wear my crossbody and then I'd put a jacket on top. And then that's what was like, you
Smart.
can't reach in, like you have to reach through my jacket. But that's how they
Mhm.
got the girl I knew. I was standing next to her when
Oh.
they put their hand in her jacket, and that's when she felt it. And that's when I
See,
was like,
then I would
yo,
also have to fight because why are you in my personal bubble?
yeah, it was. She
That's
stopped talking. She
bothersome.
was really scared after that. It was
That
very
makes
traumatic. It
sense.
was like traumatic. I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, because not I don't even know you and you're That's so but like any general travel hacks, I wish I could say I had some. I'm still trying to find them because there's got to be a cheaper way to like live my life properly. Like there's got to be a cheaper way to fly to other places, and things like that. But I want to be able to fly to other places, and if I have to cancel my trip, I don't have to go through a travel agency and like, oh, you can't return your travel like these. I
Oh,
don't like those because like if you buy like through Expedia and stuff, it's like, oh, you bought through Expedia, so you can't do this, or you have to go through them to do like that's extra work.
you see, flying out of the States, I will buy through a travel agency, and I haven't had problems, which I think
Okay.
is good. But once I'm
Mm,
like in a like within like Spain, France, stuff like that, I just use the direct like airline because I mean I
mm,
didn't have any problems, but they
yeah,
were a little more pricier, I think. I don't know, since I didn't really look at like travel agencies.
that's
But
fair.
travel hack wise, I don't know, just don't stick to all the touristy sites. I feel like that's one of the big because the city I was in was very touristy. And I realized that because it was like when I first got there, I could have a whole meal for €5, and like I would split it with a friend, and it was enough.
Mm,
But then when we started heading towards like the beach, where like all like the bigger restaurants were, it was like €15 per person, and I was like, that's so much more than what I was like used to.
mm,
Um, so I guess yeah, like finding local spots. Also being sure that you're safe within that local area because some parts are dangerous. But
mm.
yeah, I guess don't go so much towards like touristy stuff unless that's what you're going for. But like,
Yeah, I say do it, but do it in a mixture. I think it's good to like really
yeah,
feel a local vibe a bit. I kind of did that a bit. We just kind of vibed wherever in Venice and kind of found our way through there, and that was cool too. We went to a grocery store. Did we need anything? We didn't need groceries, but we were just kind of like
you
walking through the grocery store. Um,
was it a Carrefour?
hmm?
A Carrefour. Those are the grocery stores and
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, there was, well, I would say it was pretty decent size considering.
No,
Am I missing? I
little
think
is
I'm
the
missing.
name.
Oh, LOL. I thought you meant like their little groceries. Okay.
Lidl.
I thought it was pronounced Lidl. Am I tripping?
Maybe because in Spanish it was Lidl, like little.
Mm.
I'm not
I don't
sure
know.
now.
I just learned about this the store, so I could be wrong. I don't know.
Interesting. Did you go to Orange in France? I like that. That was cute.
I didn't know. France was very short. I literally just went to Paris and then I went to the Palace of Versailles, which I'm pretty sure is in Versailles.
I wanted to
Uh,
go there so badly.
it was good. I didn't even get to explore all of it. It's so large.
I heard.
Yeah. So I would go back again. But that's what I'm saying. Like once I'm out, take the train out there. Like I just want to be in the country. There's a grand time. Um, I am curious. I'm gonna give you like some random rapid fire questions and I want to know the answers before
Okay.
we wrap up. These are about excursions, things. So it's like, would you do this? Yes or no? So just answer yes or no, and we'll go from there. So you already got one of them because I put hot air balloon, so I know that you do the hot air balloon. Um, Antarctica. Would you go to Antarctica?
No. It's too
Underwater,
cold.
underwater. Would you do an underwater bedroom hotel?
Yes.
Okay. I've considered, I think I'm gonna say no just because of my fear of it crashing
Oh,
in, sharks,
or
things like
cracking.
that. Scary. Yeah. Would you sleep in an ice cave?
No.
Okay, fair. I don't think I would either. Would you have to do a sleepover in the desert?
Yes. I feel like that's yeah. Oh, but
Mm,
deserts get cold.
yeah, they do get cold. Don't let it trip. They are really hot during the day and
They
they're really
get
cold at
and
night.
really cold at night. But I mean, so many people have survived in deserts since forever. Not that many people have survived in the cold. So yes.
Okay, so you're saying desert. Um, and then how long would you spend on a train? Like what would your longest train ride be? Would be
Oh my gosh.
acceptable?
2.5 hours. I was on a 3 hour train ride. Horrible. I wanted to get out for the life of me. Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Oh, you said take me out. And then
I'd rather
last
sit in a plane for 12 than a train for three. I can't.
no, that's wild then, because at least you could comfortably like stand up on a train, I feel like. I guess it depends on what kind of seat you had, to be fair.
It was a very nice seat because my parents paid for it. So I kind of went like
Okay.
a little and I was going from the coast of Spain, like all of the like the Mediterranean. So I was seeing all of that and it was very pretty, but I just wanted to get home. So maybe I just
Okay.
wanted to get home and that's why, but I
Maybe.
most definitely was like, get me out of here.
Okay, that's fair. Um, and then last question. Are you going anywhere in 2024? Any travel plans?
I was supposed to go see Michael in Washington, and that fell through. And then I'm supposed to go to Mexico City this year, but I'm not sure.
Hey,
But
that's
you,
on your list.
it
Well,
is, I know.
I hope you can get there. I don't have any travel plans. I have a lot of travel dreams and a lot of travel hopes. What we can first hope is that I have a job that pays me more, and then we can go from there. Um,
Hopefully so.
hopefully. Thank you, Marvin, for joining this episode and adding to the travel bucket list, giving me some ideas, and eventually I researched not too much right now, so I don't get sad that I'm not going anywhere. Um, so I appreciate you for coming on again this season. Listeners, thank you for listening to the Introvert Social Hour. Share, like, and follow this podcast. Send it to a friend, a family member, a loved one. Season 2 is coming soon. Sorry, season 2 is happening now. So make sure you're looking out for next episodes, etc. They drop every week, so don't miss out. Follow me at KaVonna on Instagram and at the Introvert Social Hour on TikTok to get podcast updates. Get some sunshine, get some air, have an amazing week. And I will see you next week on the Introvert Social Hour. Thanks for joining. Bye.